everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Manga Mike, and in today's video we're going to be talking about perspective drawing, and in particular 1-point perspective. Maybe in the later videos I'll go over 2-point and 3-point perspective. So in this video, as you see right now, I just set up a horizon line. This one's a little high. I did that on purpose so that it would be easier to see all the lines as you go towards the vanishing point. And yeah, as I'm labeling right now, the dot, which is very oversized, you don't want your dot to be this big when you're doing this, is called the vanishing point. So the idea behind 1-point perspective is that everything that you have in your drawing that's going towards your horizon line is going to be going towards the vanishing point. Now, as you see right here, I'm kind of fanning out a whole bunch of different lines. I'm doing this just to show you that your vanishing point, or all these lines are going towards your vanishing point and coming from a single point and going out to the outer rims of your paper. But I also do this because, at least for me, I found that while I'm doing this digitally, I like to do these lines so that when I am getting ready to do the ink and stuff like that, I have some type of guide to go off of, and you'll see I use these as guidelines in this tutorial. So as I'm fanning all of these out, another key aspect of 1-point perspective is that all your other lines, and I actually make a couple of mistakes in this, all of your other lines should be either vertical or horizontal. They shouldn't, unless you decide that you want a piece that's slightly slanted to add a little bit of interest in your piece. Most of your lines should be vertical, horizontal, or go towards the vanishing point. So as you see now, I'm going to get ready to start doing a little bit of the penciling in to make the lines a little darker for you, and I'm going to actually start sketching my piece. And when you're doing these, you can do, a few things. Like, a lot of people like to do a road or something like that kind of in the middle of your piece to signify that things are going in that direction. In this one, I keep it really simple. I actually do mine based off of the 1-point perspective background in Mark Crowley's Mastering Manga 2. So if you want to pick up that book, he does a fantastic job of kind of showing you what 1-point perspective is. I think in his first book, actually, it's probably a little bit better description. So if you want to, be able to follow along even better, you can use that. But yeah, so in this drawing in particular, like, I have one road. To break this up, what you could do is you could have maybe multiple roads. A lot of people like to do the buildings. I decided to kind of steer away from that just because the buildings get a little bit annoying and they're boring. I think to just show a whole bunch of 1-point perspectives with the buildings. If you want that in a future video, just tell me. I have no problem doing that. I've done plenty of 1-point perspective building backgrounds. But yeah, like I was saying, in order to get a little more interest in this piece, what you could do is you could do also the like another road that's going perpendicular to this one, just to show that, hey, you can go this route too, or whatever. And what I'm going to do actually at this point is I'm going to do a little bit more visual interest by putting something that's a little vertical in the drawing. And what this does is this basically puts different points of interest in your drawing. So if you just have this 1-point perspective piece where you just have all of your things that are flat going towards your vanishing point, it makes it look kind of dull and uninteresting. By putting this little block in here, basically, that I end up turning into a destroyed like concrete pillar, that gives you the opportunity to show your viewers or give your viewers something to look at in this drawing. And this is one of those circumstances where I should have done a horizontal line, and I kind of did a slanted one. That'd be more for like a 2-point perspective, which I'll do in a future video. So I'm actually going to speed things up at this point, and because I just end up adding some, other things. I won't speed it up too much so that if you'd like to follow along you can, but I'm going to enter a time lapse right now. So I wanted to slow down a little bit at this part just to explain what I'm doing here. When you're doing lines that aren't going directly towards your vanishing point, like the lines that you have going towards, like the sidewalk lines, I'm guessing I can call them, or whatever you want to call those, the curb lines. When you're not doing lines that are going from one edge of your paper towards the vanishing point, and you're doing lines that are kind of slightly vertical or maybe more horizontal, and they're consistent lines that go towards the vanishing point, you're going to want to make those lines start off kind of far apart from one another and then progressively get shorter. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to show the viewer of your piece that as you get closer to the vanishing point, more distance is being tread across, basically. So excuse me. So that's what I'm trying to show here. There are certain ways that you can do this that are more exact than what I'm doing. Like right now I'm just kind of eyeballing it. When I do come across those techniques and those, I guess, rules, I will try to, give it to y'all as well. But as of right now, like I said, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. But also, the lines are going to get closer and closer up until they basically, you don't see them anymore. Like, as of right now, like on the right side, I did probably a better job. On the right side of this drawing, you can see that the lines are getting closer and closer and closer, a little bit, and then once they get to a certain point, you can't tell anymore. So that's what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up again. Okay, so I wanted to kind of show you and talk through some of the things that are going on right now. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that I'm using the geometry of the cubes and rectangular prisms to add detail to my drawing. I didn't just start with the detail, and I would advise you not to do that as well, especially if you're a beginner and doing backgrounds and stuff like that, because when you try to just go right ahead and add the details, your perspective is off and it doesn't look as good. Another point is, as you just saw when I was erasing right there, try to make things that break up your horizon line. Again, I didn't do a spectacular job of that in this video. I just kind of wanted to get the foundation of perspective drawing in here. But when you have a horizon line that's not really broken up by anything, it makes for a very dull looking, flat almost background or establishing shot, and that's not really what you want. You want something that's fun to look at. Now, the last thing that I wanted to, or not last, I guess is the second to last thing I wanted to talk about was you want to put something in the background that your perspective is going to, right? I put a small city with mountains in the background. I probably should have made the city and the mountains bigger to add a little more visual interest, because right now I have about a third of this background that doesn't have anything in it at the top, and that's not really what you want. And what that does is it just applies a little more interest, right? It makes your drawing a little bit better to look at and easier to look at, and it also gives you a sense of this is where the character is going to, right? And my last point, finally, is something called atmospheric perspective. I believe that's the term for it. That is when things that go further away from you, further away from your line of sight in real life, they appear duller than things that are closer to you. I'll do a video about this later on, but I'm trying here to do my line work. I'm trying to make it so that in the beginning or towards the vanishing point, actually, it gets duller, and then as it comes to you, it gets darker. And that's something you can do with your line work, with your line weight. Try to think about that when you're drawing. Okay, so I kind of wanted to wrap things up with the video. There are a few things I do want to say that could have probably been done better, but as of right now, you can see that I'm just adding details, like little bits of grass here, little pieces of rock there, and stuff like that. I decided not to go too crazy with the details just because it is a perspective tutorial and not necessarily a detail tutorial. But there are a couple of things I wanted to say. So when you're doing a one-point perspective like this, it's really an establishing shot, right? I didn't want to do a whole bunch of different things in this video just because my idea was I want you to see that there's this character that's walking towards a city and he's going through this kind of treacherous environment to get there, and it's very dry and not very much around, and it's kind of lonely. That's kind of what I wanted the reader or viewer to see in this. Now, there are a few things I did want to address. I probably should have done more concrete pillars going towards the vanishing point in order to kind of show more, I guess, of the perspective that I was talking about. And I also probably could have made the city and the mountains in the background a little bit bigger. But those are some of the things that I feel like I could have corrected in this video. If you have any other things that you would like to see more of, please just give me a comment down below and I'll try to get to it. But that does conclude our video, and again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the support, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my videos overall, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll try to make content at least once a week from now on Thursdays at around 8 p.m. and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, I'm Manga Mike, and I'm out.